Woolfy, Barbie or Cindy?
Oh, great question. Got me Barbie in it.
Cindy's good.
Barbie's better.
Hi there and welcome to another episode of Fat Boys in Lycra, Team FBIL. And isn't this a really packed episode? In the training section, we have been training in a little bit different out in the UAE mountains, and it certainly was eventful. In the racing section, we've been at the Deira Triathlon. 3 of us taking on the Olympic distance, and we even brought back some silverware. But firstly, we all try and make the little marginal gains on our bike. George and Woolfy have been testing the easy disc around the NAS track. It's one of our real world #no expert reviews, nothing scientific at all, except testing in the real world. Over to George and Woolfy.
Today we're going to be testing out the Easy Disc. I've wanted a disc wheel for a while, but I think if I spent £1,000 on a disc wheel, I'd get murdered at home. So instead we found Easy Disc, a guy called Clinton, and then what he's done is it's kind of like it is a disc cover that he's put over the top of your standard wheel, and we're going to test today at the NAS track to see if it's actually any good or not.
I'm here because we all know George is a very good cyclist. I'm a bang average cyclist, like I can get the job done. However, it will be very interesting to see, obviously my wattage will be a bit lower than George's, so it will be nice to see how beneficial it's going to be for me as the average sort of person or cyclist compared to sort of George.
So our plan is we're going to do 2 laps each. We're going to do a lap at 180 watts, a lap at 220 watts, and we're going to do it with the Easy Disc and without the Easy Disc, and we want to find out if there is actually an improvement in the time. There's claims that it's about a minute and a half of 40k, and obviously over 180k, maybe that's what, 4 or 5 minutes. We've seen the testing, but we've seen his numbers that he sent over to us, but if we're going to push a product, or if we're going to comment on a product, we actually want to say, is this legit? Is this something that you should be spending your money on? So I think it's about 150 quid, which is obviously way better than £1,000 that is, but hey, we'll see if it works. I'm expecting for a lap of NAS, which is 9 kilometers, if I could get 20-30 seconds over 9 kilometers, that'd be amazing, but we'll see.
Just back from your 2 rides there, George, initial thoughts?
Yeah, initial thoughts is marginally faster with the disc. I haven't looked at this yet, so we'll have a look soon. When you're going quickly, it feels like you're being blown a little bit more. On the fast areas, it feels faster, but on the areas where there's more headwind, it feels pretty similar. First ride, 9.4 kilometers, 9.04. And it took me 14:23 at an average 37.7. That's with disc. Without disc, 9.02, so like 20 meters less, 14.34. So that's 11 seconds over 9 kilometers.
Wow.
So I guess work that out into 40 and 180. Okay, variables are slightly different, heart rate, that sort of stuff as well, but I mean, it's definitely a small saving, which over a big distance could be quite a lot.
Right, so just finished my 2 laps with and without. First thoughts is definitely felt sturdier with the disc wheel, which is interesting. Don't know if it, like I say earlier, whether it was the weight, it's just very linear. I felt very, strong in my riding ability. In terms of quick numbers, so without for the 9k loop, I averaged 33.9, and then with the disc wheel, I averaged 34.1. So a slight improvement. With a disc wheel, I got a 1557 for the 9k loop, and then without the disc wheel, I got myself a 1604. So definitely a slight improvement. And like I said, Jules said earlier, you start adding them 9k loops, you know, over a half Ironman or full Ironman, it's going to make a big difference. So all in all, very pleased as an average cyclist.
I've used it a few times. I used it at Al Qudra, and I used it when we took it to the hills yesterday, and I was actually really impressed with it. It is definitely heavier than just having your standard wheel on, but it didn't rattle, it didn't shake, it didn't blow around, which I thought it might. I mean, my bike handling skills, while I can put some power down, my handling skills are pretty poor, so being blown around worries me. Yesterday I took it for a 4-hour ride, no problem.
First run of disc was really good, especially after my crash. It actually made me feel a bit more sturdier going around the bends, which is nice. Don't know whether that's because the bike's heavier, I'm heavier. But I'm really impressed. I don't know if there was any wind or not, but I didn't feel any crosswind, felt strong. So first thoughts, very good.
So like I said earlier, a non-expert review, nothing scientific, no wind tunnels, but as you can see, quite convincing and very cheap. The link to the Easy Disc website is in the description below. Right, now on to the racing. 3 of the fat boys took on the Olympic distance at Deira Island Triathlon. Let's see how they got on.
I had a very good race. Felt a bit rough at the end, but I think that's because I pushed the limits today. I really wanted to try and beat my time from rack. Set myself 2:56 to beat, and really chuffed to say I went under 2:46. Swim, nice and flat. Easy to get around the course there, easy to sight the boys, that was excellent. Fast cycle course, a little bit of a tailwind to push the average up there. Don't particularly like this run course, it's a little bit lonely out there, not much to see. Although there's lots of planes to view. If you're a plane spotter, get out there, it's loads to see out there. Yeah, I'm really pleased with my finished position. Puts me in a good place now for 70.3. That's coming up in 4 weeks' time, so really chuffed.
Very happy. Obviously 2 weeks ago done rack. Pretty unhappy with what we've done. I was happy that obviously I'd done it just after getting back from COVID. So I was excited for this one. I really enjoyed this bike course, the run course, everything about it. So swim was a swim, not that fussed about the swim, it was okay. Bike, I tried to push myself. I see old super sprint went flying past me, so I thought, right, better put my head down. So got that down, average about the same as last year. And then for the run, I thought, right, go for it. It was nice to show the boys who is the runner of the group, and I averaged about a 4:20 for the 10k, so very happy after that. On to the next one, 70.3.
A bit different. I was expected to do the Olympic. I forgot that I'd entered the Olympic and then entered a duathlon for tomorrow. So I entered the super sprint today. Appalling swim, terrible swim. Got on the very quick bike course. Ran my heart out on the 2.5k running, yeah, and came second in age group, so quite pleased. We'll see how I get on tomorrow with the Olympic distance duathlon.
Well, I actually did pretty well. In fact, it's 2 podiums in 1 week and just proves how great a benefit it has been joining the Fat Boys in Lycra. The Ironman 70.3 Dubai is not far away, and also the summer of the Ironman distance races is looming quickly. So it's important to change up that monotonous training. We went out and trained in the UAE mountains, as you'll find out. It's a bit eventful as well.
Okay, so this is going to be really interesting today. Brought the roadie, not the tri-bike, even though training for 70.3 should be interesting. When I saw 123 kilometres, I thought that's going to be a long way, and with the elevation as well. So we'll see how it goes. Weather's good, it's about 18 degrees, sun's just coming up, but I'm not liking the sight of those mountains behind us, but we'll see what it's like. So we're here in Calba. You've taken us on a route today. How's it compared to when you've done it previously?
It is more relaxed today. The downhills still scary,
The uphills are okay. Don't listen to Woolfy, don't listen to Pricey. It's the downhills you need to be worried about. But does it get better than this? A day out with the fat boys, it's been lovely.
Training obviously for Victoria, how's that going?
Good, kind of starting to take over a bit, to be honest. I was chatting to Woolfy in the car and saying there's a lot of hours and there's a lot of sessions, but I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I'm getting a bit better as well, and we'll see. 70.3 is just around the corner.
Saying you're getting better, how do you track your fitness?
Yeah, I track it on Training Peaks and I can see kind of my graph going up, but then I also track it with my pacing, the races and whatever else. So swimming, gradually we're getting there. Biking, a little bit of improvement, and it's the running that I've really needed to work on. I'm always chasing Woolfy on the run, so for me to improve the running is massive, and I'm slowly getting there.
Woolfy, doing a little bit of a ride up into the mountains, UAE, very different from Al Qodja. How have you found it this morning?
Yeah, it's good to finally get out there after George banging on and on and on about us fat boys going on this route that him and his pals do at that triathlon clubby. So no, it's good. I mean, as you can see here, lovely. Going up is not as fun as coming down, but then coming down, it's about how fast or slow you can go because you just absolutely fly down. Good to get some grub on board now. Sun's coming up, so good to get back on the road soon. You've been here twice, and as soon as you got in the car, you said, I haven't got a clue. You're the tech guy who had it all downloaded on your tablet of a Garmin. That went. So for some reason, we said it was good to go, oh, while we're here, we'll go down to Fujairah, then we'll cut that down. Well, that cutting that down was 120 km/h highway. So, yeah, it was all right.
I thought it was good, to be honest. I thought it was different, and actually having the cars hammer past you gave you a bit of oomph on the way forward. So Pricey said one of the worst things he's ever done in his life. I thought it was a good ride. Just why?
Well, that's it for this episode. Next episode, Craig is going to be back giving his opinion of the new carbon plate Adidas trainers, not one to be missed. Please make sure you give us a like and subscribe. It really does cheer us up if you do. See you in the next episode.